This comparison is gonna be bad. No, 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 not the video, not the video, not the video ain't gonna be bad. Please, please don't click off. I need the ad revenue to feed my cat. Please don't click off. It's the figures. The figures are interesting. They're interesting. And not interesting in a good way. That's why this comparison is gonna be pretty iffy. So, Lando Calrissian in 3 3/4 inches original, his grand original Empire Strikes Back outfit from Bespin has not gotten a new figure in so long. Many of my viewers are younger than this figure. I think it was like 2005, 2006, somewhere around there that thing was released. And this is the brand new 6-inch Black Series Lando Calrissian in his Bespin outfit. And I don't think either figure for their line is really that good. Both of them have significant issues. I would say the 3 3/4 inch one has more issues than the 6-inch, but that doesn't mean I like the 6-inch either. I'd say if you're going to get one, if one's better than the other, the 6-inch one by far, but the 3 3/4 inch one, I like it, but it's pretty bad. Let's go over the 3 3/4 inch one first. So for accessories, the only thing this Lando has is a gun. A Stormtrooper blaster, that's it. Yep, there you go. Yeah, not really that interesting. His cape is fabric, which I think is pretty good, but they tried something different. They made it in the actual triangle shape, like many capes are, and because of that, it doesn't go over his shoulders. It doesn't wrap around. It looks bad. The actual detailing in the cape, though, is beautiful. That is beautiful detailing in there, especially for how old this figure is. And the stitching work itself isn't that bad. It's alright. You can see some fraying right there, but this thing's pretty old. So articulation on this figure, he has a ball-jointed head, ball-hinged shoulders, swivel elbows, which some people don't really like. I like them on the Tusken Raider figure from my previous video. However, on this figure, they're alright. I think the degrees of motion and the cut could have been a little differently placed, but it's decent. It does have swivel at the wrist, swivel at the waist, which is very loose. I don't know if it's just because of how old this figure is, but it's very loose. Swivel at the hips, they can move pretty forward. Very, very nice hinges at the knees, and very nice ball hinges at the feet. So overall, pretty successful 3 3/4 inch figure besides the upper half. Like, the legs are perfectly fine. The legs are great. The sculpt is great. All that's great. The cape, the elbows, the head sculpt is not really that great on Billy D. Williams. It's okay for its time. I would like to see an update on this figure in TVC. I'd like to. Who knows? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. The 6-inch Lando, then, it looks better on camera than it does in person. I don't know why. It does have the Bespin communicator that he used in the movie for that brief second. That's pretty nice. It does have the Rebel blaster that he used in some of the promo shots. That's pretty nice. The head sculpt is alright. I think the sculpt is there, but I think the paint is a little weak. I think the skin tone is a little weak. It's alright. The facial hair, the eyebrows, the mustache are pretty weak. And he's not smiling either. He has no charisma. I don't know. It's a pretty weak head sculpt to me. It's alright, though. His cape, I hate this. I hate this cape. It's plastic, and I don't like this kind of material for plastic capes. They have very little leeway. Like, it's a good on paper. Like, oh, it's soft, so you can move it out of the way. But it's over his shoulders a bit, so you can barely have him, like, doing, like, oh yeah, look at my fancy cape. It looks like it's always kind of closing in. Where with this guy, yeah, the cape looks bad, but if you maybe get some sticky tack or some tape, yeah, it's fabric, so it looks like you can swoosh his cape. That's pretty cool. Underneath the body, though, articulation's pretty decent. Down and up for the head, pretty typical. Pretty typical all around, actually. In and out for the wrists. I hate this cut. This cut right there is terrible. It should have been right down there. Especially on the Tusken Raider, that cut right there is very successful. And even though it's a little bushy, I think they could have made it better if they put it there, because even here the range is really, really weak. I don't think they would have gotten any less if they put it right there. Legs, perfectly fine, no real issues. It is typical Black Series legs. Lower hinge is pretty stuck on that one. Yeah, lower hinge is pretty stuck on these, but they go all the way in. And feet are alright. No forward whatsoever, just the feet are alright. This figure, though, it has a weird feeling. It kind of feels like a Funko Legacy figure. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the smooth sculpt. I don't know. It just feels a little different. It feels a little off to me. This cape. I hate this cape, so that probably contributes to it some. I don't know. I think they could have given him a cloth cape, and it would have looked just as nice. It's also gold in here that I think that's a little too vibrant for the actual design. It wasn't gold on the original, prototypes of it, but they made it gold for some reason. Where here, it's more like a muted color that has some shine. I think it looks way better, the interior details on this cape. Yeah, 6-inch Lando is alright. This isn't my figure, I'm borrowing it, so I'm probably not going to get it for myself. I don't really have much of an interest in this. I'm just going to hold out for an update of that, so... yeah, that's pretty much my comparison. There you go. So there you go, guys. There's my comparison of both of these Billy D. Williams figures. I'd say, even though I prefer the 6-inch one, I only prefer it because it's got some modern things going on. It's got a better sculpt. It's got, better paint and likeness. But overall, for what it is, I don't think it's that good. I would think that an updated 3 3/4 inch one would probably beat the 6-inch one. The 3 3/4 inch one is very dated. However, the 6-inch one has those Black Series quirks that I really don't like, with the plastic capes and the interesting articulation choices for, say, the wrists. I think he really could have benefited from up and down on at least his right hand. But yeah, there you go. I think Lando's pretty much gotten the short end of the stick on action figures. There you go. Steel's getting worse all the time.